Giorgio, let's inspire the Italian work to live culture today. So, welcome to What Lights Us Up.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Christina. It's a pleasure.
I know we're so excited. So, we actually met. I want to tell everyone how we met. So, I went to a winery in Ischia and I met someone that runs the winery and she recommended that I meet Giorgio. And I was passing through Naples and I think I DM'd you on Instagram. And we met in Naples for a coffee and we realized that we're both passionate about offering travel experiences in the Italian towns of our ancestry around Naples. I'm in the countryside and Giorgio had told me that he offers experiences in this lovely island, Ischia, which I had the pleasure of going to and I loved it so much. Honestly, I cried when I left. It was such a beautiful, quaint island. And for anyone that doesn't know Ischia, it's where the local Italians go to visit in southern Italy. Outside of Naples, Italians will go and vacation there. So, Giorgio, tell us what inspired your connection to Ischia and how did that shape you going after your passion of creating travel experiences?
Sure. So, I was born in Ischia, and all my family comes from there. So, my connection is completely deep, I would say, with the island. And even though right now I'm not in Ischia, I'm living in Treviso. It's another beautiful place that I would suggest you recommend you to visit. And it's northern east of Italy. So it will be maybe a shock that people think about that I live in Ischia, and it's that no, I'm not. So I'm doing everything from here to Ischia, and why I'm doing it, it's because I would say for my grandma, that she's not here anymore, and she died one year ago. And when I was so bored, I would say, hey, here I think there could be something really different from the normal tourism that we do. So I started to say, hey, we had to do something. At some suddenly in the boring time of COVID, because everything come up in 2022, I would say, and I started to think about how to transform something more deeper, even though it's not August, for example, or July or September. There are beautiful moments where the people can travel a lot. They can have beautiful moments to shut down everything and get also bored, because sometimes you don't know what to do, or you go, or maybe because we are so stimulated with our smartphone or connections or whatever, and we are so in deep in our connections that we are always hands-on something, that we are forgetting our environment that we have outside, or also the real connections. And so I started to work in my mind in this idea, and maybe I have working for it, I think in the last 20 years, maybe. I don't know actually. And yeah, that right now I'm still working for this mega project. I would say that maybe could inspire a lot of other people.
So, what was it? So, you were born in Ischia. Your grandmother's from Ischia, right?
Yeah, all my family comes from Ischia. My parents too, my sister, my grandparents, my cousins, my uncles, all of my family.
It's where your last name is from?
My last name, it's comes from there. Yes, it is Arcamone. Yeah.
So it's this, when did you move from Ischia to where you live now?
Well, my life, it was always a trip. Like, I had to move with my family because my father was a military, and we moved several times for his job. And during my childhood, we moved, I think, from 5 to 10 times from actually a city to another one in Rome before, and then when I was 12, I come here in Treviso. It's not so far from Venice.
So what drew you back to Ischia? I know for me and the town of my ancestry, so I'm American, Giorgio is
Mhm.
Italian, right? I'm Italian American, and I was drawn back to the town of my ancestry, of my last name, because of my cookbook that I published, Cooking with Italian Roots. And I just felt this calling to go back and immerse myself in the food culture of my heritage when I lost my corporate job. And when I stepped in that town, I just feel this sense of grounding. Even this past trip, I've been going back for the past 3 years now. This past trip, I stepped in the town and I just feel this immediate calmness and this sense of, even though culturally, an Italian American and how I grew up and how I live my daily life is so different from
Mhm.
an Italian rhythm of life. But I just feel so calm and so grounded when I'm there. What was it about Ischia that sort of drew you back? That you were sort of like, I have to create something here and I have to share this? Because for me, I was like, I have to share this little town and this little community and how they celebrate meals and in community with the world.
Well, there is no one only, I would say, answer to this question. I think first of all, it's the love that I have for the island and the love for the people that I had there, like friends, my parents, or my family. The connection with the restaurant that I love at most, for example, or a place where there is so quiet silence, the silence of the sea, or the sounds of maybe in summer's time there are several tons of different sounds that you can lost your phone, and when you are lost, you can go so deep in your, I don't know, environment, in the where are you, and so you feel so inspired. And I think there is something like I'm so thankful to be born there that even though I'm not living in Ischia, I'm super proud. Once I say that the people I'm from Ischia, they say, "Oh wow, it's amazing," and I feel like yes, of course, but it for me was not enough. Like I see so much different economy, social life, and things like that, that it's so a shame that we cannot spend this time during the whole year during spend in Ischia, for example, during summer, during winters, or during, I don't know, springs. That the people, they don't think about it, that they can live for a moment in Ischia, where you can really shut down everything and you can get bored, but because you want, that would be like this. From a moment to another one, you're running like as a marathoner for the whole life, and once you stop, you feel like, what I'm doing, what's next, why I feel so, and I feel so stuck sometimes. You feel like, what I'm doing, what can I do for my next future, and we think always forward, and we forget to spend our time in where we are. So this is, I think, something that we have to learn. This is something that inspired me. This is the second or third reason why that I'm doing this project. And then also for the lifestyle that we have. So in Ischia, compared to here to northern of Italy, you think about, okay, maybe Italy it's all the same. It's not. It's a completely different. In Milan, for example, they are faster as a Ferrari, and in Naples, or in Ischia, you can say that people go to the Vespa. It's a motorcycle, really not so fast, I would say. It's a normal vehicle that you can move, but it's slow. But it takes you really where do you have to go, and it doesn't matter how do you go, but it will go in a way. So this is how inspired me.
There are a lot of people, actually, Italian American, that are from Ischia. I know specifically from California because they emigrated from Naples or Ischia. They were fishermen, as I understand,
Hmm.
and they came to San Pedro, which is actually a little south of where I currently live in Los Angeles. and they emigrated here. A lot of them are from Ischia. And so it's interesting. Actually, 90% of Italian Americans come from the Naples area, or so they say. So
Okay.
it's very interesting. We all have roots from that area. Tell us about the experience that you're starting to shape in Ischia. What can someone expect to do? Maybe there's someone looking to reconnect with their roots, or they're looking to spend some time, like you said, in a place and really immerse themselves and slow down and really take in the culture of a place.
Okay, sure. So, how is will structure the program? It will be really as a normal life, but you were living in a normal life in Italy. So you will learn how to live slow. So you will live in a place where you have everything. There are maybe no distractions because, okay, the distractions will be like connections with the fisherman, could happen with a nonna or the grandma, and you can spend a talk as we are doing right now. But you are doing with a grandma that will only talk in a dialect, for example, or in Italian, and she tries too, even though you know just a little of Italy or Italian, you can still learn from this grandma, for example. And then you can have um, like accommodation and hospitality that maybe the other people, they get jealous about it because in Naples and in Ischia it's so spontaneous that we are so um, hostly, so we can accept all the guests that we want. And there's a beautiful way to say that when in on a table where there are 10 people, and there is always a place for another one. And it's I think a beautiful way to say that you are always welcome when you come here.
Is it a place where they can stay and work, or do you help them with stays or with tour experiences, or walk us through what?
So it would be something that you had to come only in the place, and for the rest, you don't have nothing to think about it. It would be such a package that you can. It would be modular. It would be about what you want to do and how you want to do. For example, if you want to reconnect by yourself, or you want to know your roots because maybe you are like a Christina, and Christina has the last name that comes from Italy, and from her roots she wants to know where she comes from. Well, there are this platform that I'm building, or this project that I'm building with other people, where you can spend from 1 week to 1 month in a place where you can have disconnection and connection, but the truth is true connection, like with the real people that they are super hosts, and they will accept you as you are. But you don't have to take care about everything. It will be everything or either app or either people, because there will be people that will support you to and guide you to have, for example, problems with connection or accommodation or whatever. It's a program where you can have everything, like to work and to disconnect and to have, for example, yoga, or going to restaurants that are really typical, or, for example, go to trekking or hiking, or go to Monte Pomeo, for example, in Ischia, with the people that are really like you, for example, or really stranger than you. For example, you are, for I don't know, maybe a community manager, or you are, I don't know, a stylist, or you can work remotely and you are doing different jobs. It doesn't care. So the share and the spending the real time with the nature and reconnect with yourself and with other people that you don't know or you want to know, or you are with your friends, you can do it. Something like this, I think not even Airbnb can do something like that, because it would be so time spending. Instead, for me, I will share my connection with you.
that you can come to, for example, Ischia, and then you can spend there the time working, maybe 5 minutes from the sea, and at the end of the day you shut down your PC and you are free to do everything, like walking, connection with our friends, or restaurants, dinner with other the locals. So this is something more deeply to, instead of travel experience, it's something more about social innovation, or something more social, I would say.
And Ischia is incredible. So everyone that has not been to Ischia, please go. I actually have on my website, I want to help people explore Ischia and really the Naples area. Not only come to my town with me and explore what it's like to really live in Italy and how to see how Italians live. Ischia, I think, is also an opportunity to see that because it is still authentic, in my opinion. I know there's 3 islands outside of Naples, right, that are kind of sister islands, they call it. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's Capri is actually one of them, which everyone knows and everyone wants to go to, and it's very crowded and very touristy. There's Ischia and then there's Procida. And the 3 of them are really related, right? There might be others, but those are sort of the main 3.
Yes, these are the main three of the Gulf of Naples. The three islands are related because, for the history and for traditions, culture, food, and places and things like that. Yes.
And I wonder why Capri became such a overpopulated soup because first off, let's just talk about so Naples in general. I stayed in Naples for a week. Then I stayed in Ischia for 5 days, and I visited Procida as well, which was a little day trip. You can get to Ischia and Procida by like a quick 40-minute ferry from Naples. And I took just a day trip to Procida, and it was lovely, super authentic. I e-biked all around the island. It's that small, and it was super quaint. In Naples, staying there, everyone says, "Oh, it's chaotic." It actually it wasn't crowded at all. I went to museums, I went to the underground tours, and they weren't crowded. And walking the streets and strolling into a cafe, and it was reasonably priced and actually really low priced. And then after that, I went to Florence, and Florence was overcrowded, and I was getting hit in the head with a tour flag, and the museums were like insane. And so I could only imagine Capri versus Ischia would be the same. I didn't go to Capri this time, but I did Amalfi and Positano, which everyone's like, okay, check off the list, have to go, have to hit, at least in America. And it's so, I didn't think authentic. I mean, who am I to say what's authentic and not authentic? But it was overpriced. It was like lemons, lemons, lemons everywhere. I mean, I guess that is a multi, but I thought Naples was just people singing in the streets, and it just was the soul. You could see the soul being cooked into the food, and I didn't see that. I saw a lot of shopping in Amalfi and Positano. I saw people sitting in really high-end cafes. And I'm going to Italy for a different experience. And so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, first of all, why do you think we're drawn to Italy? Because there are people that want to go to Amalfi, Positano,
Mhm.
Capri. And I know we all have a different way of traveling and we all have a different way of seeing the world. And for me, after seeing the town of my ancestry, I want more authentic experiences. I want to see how the culture lives, and I want to immerse myself in that culture and in that rhythm of life. Why do you think we love Italy, and why do you think we're so drawn to it? And what do you think we can learn from our travels to Italy?
Well, this is a really good question. Why everyone loves Italy? Why everyone speaks a lot about and talk about more Italy? Everyone wants to live here. Everyone wants to travel the whole place, the whole Italy, the whole country. I don't know actually. There is no one answer. I think for the beauty. I think for the beauty there is everywhere. Um, okay, maybe the suburbs of Milan or Turin or the big cities, we can say it, they are not beauty. But even there, you can see, if you want, the beauty. I think also in Naples, if you go to, okay, not Posillipo, or you go to Scampia, or in Fuorigrotta, where is also the stadium. Outside there are some dangerous places. We know it. We all of us, we know it. So there is violence and mafia, or whatever what you want to call it, everywhere. But I think that the most of the people, they think about that going in these places, like the touristic one, it will be like a tickle. I think, okay, done it. I visited. I've done it. I've been there. But it's not like this. It's okay. I don't have nothing to say something wrong about this kind of tourism, but I think when you are going in somewhere where you really spend a lot of time or a lot of energy to go in such a beautiful place, you want to stay there. So you want to stay there, but not just to visit, or okay, I have grab a cornetto, I will go there, I will eat everything, and then I will feel fine, or I will be happy. No, it's not about that. You can have really deep conversation, really good connections. um it's another way of, I think, not living but tourism in this case, and it's another experience. um and the difference between Naples and Florence, to regarding to your question, I think they are so different. First of all, Naples has its own soul, the own history, own food. It's amazing when the people from all the world, they are jealous about it, and they come there only, for example, to have a pizza to Michele, for example, or to have a beautiful cornetto, or a delicious piatto di pasta, or whatever, and you feel happy. But not because, I think, in my idea, my opinion, not because you are having it, but because you spend a lot of energy to go there and having such a great food. In, maybe it's not the best pizzeria, or maybe it's not the best trattoria, or guest house, or whatever, but or such a beautiful restaurant that we have also, for example, here in Venice, or a Michelin star restaurant. It's not. It's a really authentic. It's 100% um, an experience of life, even though you are spending, for example, I don't know, 10 euros for everything. This is another place, and this is another reason why it's cheap, because in south of Italy, it will not miss any time the food. It's something that's so generous. We have so in abundance that the people, they are selling everything every time, every part of the year. They are doing their own best job. It's to sell their own hospitality. This is the job in Naples. In Florence, yes, but they start to think about more business. And for example, yesterday I was talking with a friend of mine, and the topic was about the people, they have to not escape, but they have to go outside from the city. For example, in Florence, it's starting this kind of gentrification. The gentrification is attacked the city, and the people, they have their own. For example, they own a house. They are putting on Airbnb because they can get more money, and they don't have to work a lot. But in this kind of topic, there are a lot of people. They are going outside because in outside you can spend less money to have a house, but in the other side, the city will be overcrowded, over touristic. The prices will be so higher, and you don't have quality. I think it's about explosion of prices or beauty of K, but for me, it's not about this. I don't have this kind of topic or this kind of. For me, it's not this tourism. I don't like it. I stay outside from this gentrification or about this kind of touristic places. They are so tourist. Even for me, it's 20 minutes from Venezia, from Venice. Venice, it's the same. It's happening everywhere in Italy. In Milan, for example, you can't go. It's so super crowded as well, and you spend a lot of money because everyone want to go there. And yeah, what do you think about also Milan, for example?
Well, I haven't actually been to Milan.
Okay.
So when I was in high school, my grandfather took us all around Italy and then to his town of ancestry, which I've been going back to the past 3 years. I didn't go back. And then when I studied abroad in college, I went to Rome, but then I never went back to Italy. I wanted to see other parts of the world, and I was drawn back after I published my cookbook to the town of my ancestry. And now I'm just southern Italy and I'm just so drawn to the authentic way of travel. But as you know, Giorgio, just spent 6 weeks in Italy. So I did 4 weeks in the Naples area, 2 weeks in town of my ancestry. I did a week in Naples, Ischia, and then I went to Cilento for a weekend. And then I went up to Florence and I spent a week in Florence. I went to San Marino to visit my cousin, and then I spent a couple days in Tuscany as well. And there was a huge polarity between Florence and Naples, just huge, like shocking. Like Naples wasn't crowded. It felt very authentic. The prices were totally night and day. And really how Italians spend their day was totally different. In Naples, as an American, so this was my day, right? I would wake up in the morning, I would remote work, right, to my clients. I would email in the morning. I would leave about 11 or noon and I would go explore the city, and I would go to a museum. I would have lunch. I'd come back about 5 o'clock and I would prepare for a meeting, which was normally LA time at that point. So 7 o'clock. I'd work until about 8 or 9. And then I would go back out for dinner. And all across Italy, I saw, okay, I can have dinner late at night. In Naples, they eat very heavy meals for lunch. They eat pastas with sauces and pizza and fried street food. In Florence, they eat more like Americans. There's a sandwich for lunch, and then you have a big dinner, like a steak or a pasta for dinner. So that was definitely a difference. And I know that I'm an American experiencing an Italian lifestyle, but coming back to the US after 6 weeks, I just felt like life was just chaotic. And Americans we live to work. And so everyone's up at 6 a.m. and they're stressed and they have the emails showing up on their phone, and you have to answer your email right away, or someone makes a comment about it. Oh, they're not answering their emails right away. Where are they? What are they doing? It's constant. It's constant. You're expected to be constantly on. You're working 8 to 5. You're not getting up for lunch. You're eating at your desk, and you're settling. Once you close your laptop, you're making dinner for, if you have a family, you're having dinner, and then you're going to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. Italians are eating dinner at the time that Americans are going to bed. And so that Italian lifestyle, though I was still logging, okay, 6 hours, maybe I wasn't doing a full 8 hours. Sometimes I could have logged 8 hours, but I was having a full day. I was having an experience of going outside, and I was having a late dinner. So felt like I was still experiencing and living my life and still getting my work done. And so I've been struggling with that. How do I apply that lifestyle to living in the US? How do you think other cultures can learn from the Italian rhythm of life?
This is a super nice question. I love it. I think it's a turning point when you realize that you are running for someone else. That okay, we are based on a performance society. We know it, but you can choose. I think everything that's about your own self. Okay, we Italian, we maybe they are on another planet. We are so connected. For example, first of all, for me, or with other people, they put first of all the family. Second, of course, it will be the wealth. So everything about your health and your lifestyle, or what you want to do for your body. um, it's really useful for yourself and for everyone. But we Italian, we have the aperitif, for example, at 7 in the evening. We have cornetto, for example, in the morning, or a breakfast, a long breakfast, or either a brunch. Right now, they are using also in Naples or here in Treviso or in other places, that you can have a really long breakfast. Or what I used to do, my routine, it's about wake up at 6 in the morning. I do some stretching or whatever, some exercise. I have also me 1 hour commuting. I go to work, or I have a full-time job, and I work from 8 to 5. And from 8 to 5, it will be the same as you described. You have to be performance. You have to be performed. You have to be under pressure, because it's a society. The society will say these things, not you. But there are this kind of activity that you do during the day, that you feel like, okay, maybe I need something to stress out. I have something to learn also from other people. And I do the same. And for example, in the weekend, what I used to do, it remembers me about my grandma to slow down, for example. And I love cooking. What I do, it's something that I prepare the meal for the entire week. But it's not because, okay, I have to do it. But in the other way, I start to sing, or I start to listen good music while I'm cooking. And I will start to um, feel better. That's it. There is no recipes or something that will make you so happy. I think that everything is about your own self. Everything is about listening, about what you want to do. And there is something that we Italian really do a lot better of other places and other countries. I would say that another culture, it's about, we are the best in aperitif, okay, but we are the best about enjoying the life fully, totally. Like if you're in Naples or in another state, in another city, or in another in a countryside, and you work remotely, and you are in the nature, and there are some bars that you can have for, I don't know, maybe uh, an aperitif with friends, or a coffee. We can go outside, even though for a coffee it could be an event. This is something that the people are jealous about, because everything for us, it's an event. Even though it's about I don't know, a Saturday evening pizza with friends, it's an event. It's something that we are shouting, we are doing dramas, we are doing comedians, we are laughing out, we are uh, talk about our week, or even gossip, for example. Sometimes happens there are the people starting from gossip until we go to other topics that would be, okay, soccer or whatever. This is something that for me, it's turning point, when you realize that every time you go outside, and you are alone, or you are with friends, you don't have to care about what happens out around you. You are with yourself, your soul, and you can do whatever you want, in the limits, of course. But I feel like, don't stress at all. Like, when you are outside, enjoy the moment fully. This is something that maybe the other people can teach from us, can learn from us. It's about enjoy the life how it is. Napolitans say you have to grab the life how it comes, not how you want to do it that will go. Okay, you have to be like this, because objects are important in the life, also goals. But there is this beautiful way to say of Massimo Troisi, it's an actor that died several years ago. It says, you have to grab the life how it comes, whatever it takes. You have to grab it and enjoy it. That's it. This is the recipe, I think. And stay in the middle. Like, because when you realize that you are deeply, so deeply in the things, or in the middle, you realize that you are really enjoying the life. How, even though sometimes we know we are stressed, or you are sad, or you are passing a really bad moment of the life, it happens. It's life. But I think for the other country and the other cultures, it will be a good lesson, I think.
And I'm shocked to hear that you commute an hour each way. And I was hoping to hear this magical Italian way of living that have a lunch break and you all go out to eat and have this 2-hour lunch break. Do you think that's because North versus South, or do you think it's just the working culture now? Like, where do you see the working culture going?
I think okay, for me, because I'm an engineer, so I work for an industry that I'm busy from 8 to 5 as a normal job, fully time job. But I think the hybrid way would be the future. Like, the people, they have to choose if they want to what they want to go to work, to the office, or they want to work remotely, or they want to work in a smart way. I think as more we know how to describe and to learn more about this kind of living, the way of this living, we are as more we start before to live fully, I would say. And the future, I don't know how it will be, but I'm sure that the news that we are listening, they are not so good. I would say you can say the same in America. They are cutting off a lot of people, thousands of jobs lost, or they are cutting a lot of industry. For example, we can say Amazon or Microsoft or whatever. They are replacing the AI instead of humans. But I think we are going in a way that we are competitive if we, of course, we have to work with other tools that maybe before we never had. And it's okay. It's part of the life. It's evolution. It's a change. It's something that we always changed in our, I think, in our history about human beings. And I think for now that we are always stressed off, a good recipe for the big administrations will be to, of course, have get the freedom to the people to choose what to do. If, of course, we have to work, we have to do it, but in another way, because like this, it will not be sustainable at all for me. Like for me, for it's the same. I spent, I don't know how many hours in my car, and at the end of the day, sometimes I'm really angry, or I feel like, so it's so stupid. I feel like, but of course I am part of the system. But you can choose, because maybe in a 1 year I will say, hey Christina, I completely changed my life. I'm working as an engineer as well, but I'm doing from Ischia, or I'm doing from I don't know, in the middle of the mountains here in Venice, or in Veneto, for example, in the Alps. And I'm saying, hey, it's beautiful, I'm get bored and I feel completely good. And I think that for everybody of us that we are involved in this kind of jobs, as you as well, what do you think about it? How will be shaped the job
Well, it's
future?
tough because a lot of the companies now are actually, so during COVID, it was remote work. Obviously, we had to. And
Yeah.
then companies were like, oh, okay, I think we can do remote work. Let's do hybrid. But now a lot of companies are actually requiring people to go back to the office. Since I was laid off, I decided that I was not going to work for someone else, and no one else had my power besides me. So I've been fortunate. I've been a consultant. I've had long-term clients. I've been very fortunate. And for me, it's about teaching myself how to create my day and boundaries, because people will try to take what they can from
Mhm.
you and all they can from you. And so you have to create those boundaries. Same, like if I cross a boundary, or if I let someone take too much of my time, or if I don't allocate time to something that I'm working on building, like my passion projects, then I get frustrated. I get angry. I don't feel like I've spent my day. And in Italy, I felt calm. I had this calm demeanor. And so to me, in being back for about a month, I just feel this polarity that I'm trying to influence what my day was built around in Italy and what it can look like in my everyday life. And what I wanted to do in Italy while I was there, I wanted to teach myself that I can work from anywhere and that it's a mental thought of teaching myself to log in to a work mode in a different changing apartment, in a different changing atmosphere. Maybe I go to a cafe and work. I'm waiting for a train. Maybe I work in a train. I go to an inn, and so I was able to post a blog post. I think I wrote a blog post on a train. I was doing social media while I was on the train or at an airport. And I was working at different Airbnbs with different internet speeds. And I made it work and I figured it out. And I logged in my hours and I even asked my clients, what did you think? And they said, oh, we didn't even notice. We actually liked that you were on all the time. And, issues were taken care of by the time we logged in because I was ahead of them. And so we feel bad. We feel like we have no choice because I think a lot of people right now, they don't feel like they have a choice. The American companies are saying you either come back to work Monday through Friday full time or you lose your job. And unfortunately, that's the situation. So what do people do when they feel like they have no choice? They look for another job. They choose, maybe they don't have the opportunity to say, I can leave my job and go off on my own. And it's kind of it's a tough place, I think, for people right now. And why do companies feel like they need the control? Why can't we work remotely? Why can't we be open-minded about if people want to live somewhere and they want to explore a different way of living, or they want to take care of their family, or they want to take a lunch break? Why can't we invite that into our life? Doesn't everyone want don't we all want the same thing?
No, the answer is no. Not all of us. We are always the same. This is the point. But it's the system that we created in the last, I think, 30, 40 years, maybe more. That's so okay. Maybe I'm abusing right now a word that it's toxic, and it's not sustainable for all of us. It's not sustainable, not at all. Like I know the feeling because even myself, I've been through a lot of troubles during COVID and after that. But I think there is something that it's really common, like Italy, US, France, Germany, whatever, all the big economies in the world. And I think they want to control the companies because they know that maybe they have the power and they can have the power on the people because they know they don't have an option. They know they don't have an option. And sadly, but if you are smart enough, and maybe I'm saying something that it's not normal, but I work really hard on myself because I want to be a better person. I want a better life. And I start this project because I had the force, I had the energy to do it. But sometimes after 12 hours of work, I go to home, I start a conversation like with my future customers, and I will say, hey, can I do an interview for you for free? Like you don't have to describe nothing. I just want to talk more about your habits or your remote work or whatever. And I do. And I go until midnight sometimes. I feel stressed out for sure. But it's a roller coaster. It will be not always like this. And another thing that I learned, if you really want to change, you have to change your idea and your perception about yourself. And if you want to know more deeper who you are, you have to do something that maybe you've never done in your life. And it will be something that it's painful. It's really painful. That knowing yourself really in the truth If you shut down your phone and you're staying 30 minutes by yourself and listening your thoughts, it will be so stressed out that at the end of the 30 minutes, you will be more, how can I say, stressed about yourself and instead about work, because you hate yourself. You don't love it. You don't love it because you don't want to listen yourself. Once you realize that, you can start working slowly with a slow pace, and then you start to run about who you are, who you want to become, who you want to be, and who you want to be in the future for the next maybe 5 years. And I think this is the thing. You have to start from yourself, from who you are, your roots, your state of happiness, and your state of mind, or what you hate about yourself, and then work from that moment, from your needs, your personal needs, and starting from scratch, because every day you start from scratch. You can choose every day who you want to be. This is the point. I think this is my idea.
I love that. And how can we, for a final thought, how can we invite more joy into our life?
So if you want to more joy in your life and more happiness or things like that, I think you have to start from scratch every day and think about, okay, yesterday was not a good day, maybe. Okay, what can I enjoy every day of my life? Conversations, real conversations, like deeply with real people, means like your real values. What are you connected with other people is about value. And I think starting from this, like little things every day, it's about to revolutionary your life. The small things are going to change your perspective and your life. And if you accept also part of yourself you don't want to accept, then you start to have joy. And this is for me my point of view. And every day, enjoy the little things, enjoying good conversation. For me, helped me to um, quit my toxic thoughts about the society and things like that. When I cut the job, when I stopped, I start to realize that I have to have more conversations like this, for example, or to have a good aperitivo with other friends, but maybe once, maybe two, not every day, but feel still this kind of little things will change. Or for example, we forget also to having hugs. I think also this, it's something that you don't change. Maybe it's even crying or having a hug from a people that you want, that you love, or little things are going to have more joy in your life. This is the point for me. This is my idea. What about yourself?
I think taking the time and getting out of your daily routine and going and taking a trip, for me, travel, and really getting off of my computer and doing something that's switching my brain to a different thought, like you said, really gives me more creative drive and creative ideas, and inspires me to for more positive thoughts, and to get out of my own world and to see that there's a whole bigger world out there is, I think, inspiring. And it helps us, and following what lights us up is really gives us a purpose and a sense of meaning in our life, and to share that with others. So I hope this conversation has been inspiring for our listeners as well as you, Giorgio. And tell us where we can find you, follow you, check out your experiences, join you in Ischia.
For sure, for sure. Christina, you found me with Instagram, and your follower or everybody want to follow my stories, or my I don't know, even the project. The people that want to know more, they can go to Vicus, Vicus reconnect.it, and they can find the description about the project. And it will start from next year, not this year, because I still working on it. It's really a tough job. But on the social or by my email, everybody can really get in touch with me. So really easily get in a conversation, or if you want to have I don't know, maybe a video call with me, having a slot, you can contact me on DM, and then we can go forward. So I will be really happy to share with you my thoughts as well.
And your Instagram?
My Instagram, it would be Giorgio_Arcamone. I repeat again because it's a typical Italian name, so maybe the people, they don't know how to do it. It's Giorgio, like George, but in Italian, Giorgio, _Arcamone. Arcamone. This is my entire name.
Listen to that Italian pronunciation. I cannot learn Italian for my life, so the Italian pronunciations are, I'm sure I'm butchering them. I'm trying to learn it. It's so hard, but it was beautifully said. Giorgio, thank you for coming on the show and for this inspiring conversation.
Thank you to you, Christina, and really appreciate it a lot.